Welcome back to Centrelink Insider. It is officially 2026. Happy New Year. Now, I need you to listen to me very carefully because what I am about to share with you in the next few minutes could literally save your household thousands of dollars this year. I am not exaggerating. If you have a partner, if you have children, or if you are planning to see a specialist, a psychologist, or undergo any significant medical procedure like IVF or orthodontics in 2026, you are currently standing on a financial cliff edge. As of the 1st of January, the Medicare Safety Net thresholds have reset. For 2026, the extended Medicare Safety Net threshold for concession card holders and families eligible for Family Tax Benefit Part A has risen to $861.2. For non-concessional families, it is higher, sitting just over $2,700. Now, here is the hook, and here is why you clicked on this video. Most Australian families will reach that threshold and not get a single extra cent back from the government. Why? Because they assume the system is automatic. It is not. If you do not manually register for the Medicare Family Safety Net, even if you are married, even if you are on the same Medicare card, the government treats you as strangers. You will each have to hit that threshold individually, that is double the cost before you get help. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to register in the app, how to calculate your 80% rebate, and how to stop throwing your hard-earned money into the bureaucratic void. Let's clarify the core proposition here because there is a massive misconception that I see in the comments section every single day. You might be thinking, but Centrelink Insider, I'm already on a Medicare card with my wife and kids, surely we are linked. The answer is a frustrating yes, but actually number. Yes, you are on the same card for administrative convenience. However, for the purpose of the safety net, the mechanism that triggers those massive cash rebates, you are not a family unit until you explicitly tell Services Australia that you are. It is a binary switch. Either you are registered or you are not. There is no middle ground. The system defaults to individual. This means the government is waiting for you to spend that $861.2 or the higher general threshold all by yourself before they help. But the moment you register as a family, every dollar your partner spends, every dollar you spend on your kids, it all goes into one big bucket. The complexity here is that your physical card does not equal your safety net status. You must separate these two concepts in your mind immediately. Now, let's talk about the short-term thresholds and the implicit decay mechanism. This is where the calendar hurts you. It is January. Your safety net balance is currently sitting at $0. This is the implicit decay of the new year. Your protection has reset. For the next few weeks or months, every time you go to the doctor, you are paying the full gap fee. This creates a false sense of security or resignation. You get used to paying $80 or $100 out of pocket. But here is the mechanism you need to understand. There is a specific dollar figure where the pain stops, but only if you are strategic. If you have a surgery booked for March, or you are starting a cycle of therapy, you are going to hit that threshold fast. If you are not registered as a family, you might hit $800 in gaps, and your partner hits $800 in gaps. Total household spend, $1,600, reimbursement, $0. Because neither of you hit the $861.2 individual trigger, if you had combined them, you would have crossed the line weeks ago, and the government would have already been paying 80% of your out-of-pocket costs. You are essentially paying a laziness tax or an ignorance tax for every day you delay this registration in 2026. Let's move to the historical tenure and proportionality principle. This sounds complex, but it is the mathematical heart of the Extended Medicare Safety Net, MSN. How does the government calculate what you get? Once your family reaches that 2026 threshold of $861.2 for concession holders, the government doesn't just give you a flat fee. They apply a proportional rebate. They will cover 80% of your out-of-pocket costs for out-of-hospital services. Let's run a real scenario. Let's say you need to see a private cardiologist. The bill is $300. The standard Medicare rebate, the schedule fee, might be $100. That leaves you $200 out of pocket. Without the safety net, that $200 is gone. Goodbye. But if your family has already hit the threshold, the MSN kicks in. It looks at that $200 gap and says, we will pay 80% of that. That is $160 back in your pocket. So instead of being out of pocket $200, you are only down $40. Now, multiply that by 10 appointments or a cycle of IVF or ongoing psychiatric care. We are talking about thousands of dollars in proportionality. But remember, this is based on your tenure within the calendar year. It resets every the 1st of January. The sooner you build up that history of spending in the early months, the longer you enjoy the free ride for the rest of the year. We need to discuss the intent-based status determination framework. Who actually counts as a family? Services Australia uses a specific framework to determine this, and it is more flexible than you might think, but also strict on intent. You can register if you are a married couple, a de facto couple, or a single parent with dependent children. Here is the crucial part. Dependent is defined by behavior and age. Children under 16 are automatic. Full-time students between 16 and 24 are also eligible, but, and this is a big, but only if you intend to support them financially. If your 22-year-old is working full-time and essentially independent, keeping them on your safety net might actually be a disadvantage if they are healthy and you are sick, or vice versa. Although usually more people equals hitting the cap faster. The system looks for the intent of a shared financial burden. Also, you do not need to be on the same physical Medicare card to register for the family safety net. You can have different cards, different numbers, but still be linked in the back end as a safety net family. This is a common confusion that stops people from registering. This brings us to cross-border surveillance and compliance blind spots. In the context of Medicare, the border is the information gap between family members. The system has a blind spot regarding your relationships unless you illuminate it. However, once you link, there is a level of data transparency you need to be aware of. When you register as a safety net family, you are essentially authorizing Services Australia to share your safety net balance with the other members of the family. This means your partner might see that the threshold has been reached. While they won't necessarily see the specific medical details of your visits in the safety net summary, the financial totals are aggregated. If you are in a situation where financial privacy from your partner is a safety concern, you need to think carefully about this. But for the vast majority, the blind spot is simply the failure to link. The government is not going to chase you to give you this money. Their compliance model is passive here. They will happily keep your money if you don't file the form. There is no automatic sweep that retroactively links families who forgot to register. You must bridge this data gap yourself. Now, let's look at operational logistics and economic risk factors. How does the money actually flow? When you hit the threshold, the rebate is usually immediate if you claim at the doctor's office. The FPO's machine talks to Medicare, sees the safety net reached flag, and deposits the higher amount. However, there are operational risks. If your bank details are outdated in the Medicare app, the payment hangs in limbo. Or, more commonly, if you go to a provider who does not process claims on the spot and you have to upload the receipt later, there is a processing latency. In 2026, with the cost of living being what it is, waiting 3 weeks for a $400 rebate is an economic risk for many families. Furthermore, there are caps on certain services. For some items, like IVF or certain surgeries, the 80% rebate is capped at a specific maximum amount. Do not assume it is an unlimited blank check. You need to check the MSN cap for your specific procedure item number. Ignorance of the cap is a major financial risk factor. I also want to issue a reverse process latency warning. Life happens couples separate. Children leave home. If your family structure changes in 2026, the process of unlinking or restructuring your safety net is not instant. If you separate from a partner, you must manually remove them from the safety net group. If you don't and they go on a spending spree with medical services, they are using up the family threshold, or conversely, if you are the high spender, they might benefit from your spending. While that sounds nice in high-conflict separations, this financial entanglement can be a nightmare. The system has a latency period. It takes time to process these separation forms. You cannot just click delete and expect it to vanish instantly from the back-end records without verification. You need to manage your expectations. Getting into the safety net is faster than untangling from it. Consider the collateral erosion of ancillary benefits. If you fail to manage this, it's not just the Medicare rebate you lose, it affects your entire health ecosystem. For example, the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, PBS, also has a safety net. While they are separate tallies, families who are organized enough to register for the Medicare Safety Net are typically the ones who track their PBS spend. If you are disorganized with Medicare, you are likely overpaying for prescriptions too. Furthermore, losing out on thousands of dollars in rebates erodes your disposable income, which might force you to delay other necessary health treatments, dental, physio, optical, that aren't fully covered. It is a domino effect. By failing to register, you are effectively increasing the price of your entire healthcare year, forcing you to make harder choices later in 2026. Don't let a paperwork error erode your family's health standard. This leads to continuous compliance and vitality verification. You need to verify your status. Do not assume that because you registered in 2022, you are fine for 2026. Usually registration carries over, but if a child turned 21, or a student finished university, or you added a new baby to the card, the link might have broken or become incomplete. The system requires vitality verification. You need to check that the family unit is still intact in the eyes of the database. I recommend a compliance check every January. Open the app, check Safety Net family. Are all the names there? Is the new baby listed? If not, you are losing money every time you take that baby to the pediatrician. It requires active, continuous monitoring, not a set-and-forget mentality. So, here is your defensive action plan and cognitive sublimation. I want you to pick up your phone right now, open the Medicare Express Plus app, or go to MyGov, click on Safety Net. Look for the option that says Register for Family Safety Net. It takes less than 2 minutes. If you are unsure, call 132-011. Do not let the bureaucracy win by default. This system is designed to help you, but it is gated behind a wall of administration. You have the key now. You understand the math, the 80% rebate, and the $861.2 threshold. Transform this anxiety about medical costs into action. Please share this video with your family groups, your mother's groups, your friends. Every year, Australians leave millions of dollars unclaimed. Don't be one of them. Like this video if it saved you money, and subscribe for more insider updates. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I will see you in the next one.